guys, I'm back. The Gangster of the Constitution. Now, I haven't done a show now in quite a while because I've been busy, campaigning for Congress and the House, and, I'm still the citizen mayor, and I had to, I did a couple of TV shows for my citizen mayor, and I did a couple of shows, for my campaign. But today is back to Gangster of the Constitution. But before I go there, let's say a couple of words about Gretchen Whitmer, the gangster's mall. I found out that she was in one of the protest riots with no mask on, with all those people. We didn't hear from her for about 3 weeks. Her or the Attorney General Dana Nessel. I kept calling and calling. Well, we can't find, they ain't here. Go online. You go online, all it is some writing. It wasn't them. Then now that she's back, the very first thing she want to do is mandate mask wearing. Well, my issue is this. You don't want to make your system sound phony. Why weren't you out there doing all those riots, all up in Lansing? They tore Lansing up, tore it up one side and down the other. She hasn't said a word. They tore up Flint. They tore up Detroit and a couple other towns. They just tore them up. Gretchen didn't say one word. And we kept calling, hey, what is she going to do? And then she finally comes back. And she comes back barking out orders about everybody got to wear a face mask. And we done sat there and looked at all these riots where did nobody have on nothing and was hugging and going on. And we didn't hear a word one from her. So now she's saying that the COVID count is up. If it is, it's her fault. Because she allowed 3 or 4 weeks of rioting. And she didn't send no police or even their mama over there to tell them to put on a mask. Ain't told nobody nothing. So if we did get an uptick in COVID C-19, it's Gretchen's fault. Oh, and by the way, somebody's petition to remove her has been approved. I believe it's supposed to start July 29th because she's appealing it. So if she don't make it, starting July 29th, Chad Bassey, Baase, his petition will be on the street, and I will be on the street with it, with that petition to get rid of Gretchen Whitmer. We're going to recall her. That's what Chad's trying to do. So let's go on now to the Gangster of the Constitution. Well, as long as you guys been knowing my shows, and I have given you over and over videotape concerning this issue of the Constitution. And I've told you over and over and over again that the Constitution does not permit the United States government to bring immigrants. Absolutely not. I'm sick and tired of telling you all the clauses and the amendments and, and no one's paid me any attention. Well, I can tell you right now, the mask is off. The Supreme Court made a ruling that there is nothing in the United States Constitution that allows the federal government to do anything with non-citizens. I'll give you just a little bit of background, and then I'm going to run you a little clip. It's only about a minute long. What happened? Donald Trump sued the state of California to be able to get in there and pick up illegals. The California Attorney General, Becerra, he told the Supreme Court that he was going to apply Amendment number 10. That's the states' rights clause. You've heard me say it over and over again. So now you got another chance to improve yourself. Look up Amendment number 10 and see what the Supreme Court just did. So what Xavier did, he quoted the states' rights clause, Amendment 10. It says anything not delegated to the United States or prohibited by the states is reserved to each state respectively or the people. Supreme Court Justice Roberts listened to it, and then Xavier said, since there's nothing written or delegated in the Constitution for the United States government to have anything to do with non-citizens, I'm not going to do anything that Mr. Trump is talking about, some picking up illegals, because I have the state's right to be a sanctuary state. So the Supreme Court agreed with him. They sure did. And I told you guys one of these days something like that was going to happen. Because I know you're all constitutionally illiterate, but it's not your fault. Someone did that on purpose. It was the Democrats. They were the ones who took it out to school. Because they had some plans to bring millions of immigrants here with low wages so they could take us out of a job. That's why you see so many people out there protesting, going, they ain't got nothing else to do, because they certainly can't get a job. No, they're white and black. They ain't getting no job. No, all the jobs, the new jobs are all being given to foreigners. But I don't know if that's going to last much longer, because the Supreme Court quoted what Becerra said, that there's nothing written for the United States or delegated to the United States to have anything to do with immigrants, and therefore they granted the state of California the state's rights to be a sanctuary state. Y'all know how I hate this stuff. But the Supreme Court did it based on the state's rights clause. Here's the problem with that. I told Becerra when he was in Congress, don't mess with the Constitution unless you know what you're doing, because it could backfire through other clauses and sometimes fall in on itself. And no one paid me any attention. And I've written the Supreme Court, I can't tell you how many times, about this issue of the United States has no power to bring immigrants. In fact, last year, they sent Mr. Trump a little text and told him that foreign nationals and immigrants have no due process rights in the Constitution to file claims in federal court. Trump ain't know what he was talking about. And he also told him that he could fire these federal judges that is not following the line of the Constitution. But since he don't know the Constitution, they still getting away with a bunch of crap. So now here we are. The Supreme Court has ruled that the United States got nothing to do with immigrants. Any state can be a sanctuary or whatever. Problem with it is, when the Supreme Court actually said there is nothing written or delegated in the Constitution for any federal laws on immigration for immigrants, they've deleted all federal laws on immigration about 80 years. Because there's never been anything written for this to happen. This happened through liberal federal judges, Democrats. Because they did this mess for Carter with the Cuban boat lift mess. They just let them bring them into Florida and had a saying out, if they just get to Florida, then they wet foot, dry foot, and they can start getting welfare and stuff. And we back there raising sand and stuff, and worse than that. Then the next thing that happened, Senator Philip Hart of Michigan. He wrote the Hart-Celler Act. That opened all these doors you guys see open now, where it's millions of them and you can't get a job. That's why. But I'm sorry. I'm not sure that the Supreme Court realized what they did. But they wiped out all federal immigration. It's wiped out now. Y'all just don't know because you don't know about the Constitution. It's wiped out. They ain't supposed to get no welfare, no food stamp, no DACA, nothing from the United States. The president is supposed to, like I told Justice Roberts and Trump, under that ruling, the president is required by Article 6 and Amendment 14, Section 3 and 4, to do an executive order for Congress to repeal every one of the federal laws. Goes back about 80 years. And they don't have any citizenship either. You can't get citizenship like that. So let's roll this clip. It's only about a minute, and just read it carefully, what it says. Roll that clip. Wow, that was really something to find out about that. Well, just keep watching. Watch all my shows, Capital City Chris, A Citizen Mayor. I'm going to be putting that information on all of my shows. And also, I'll probably be using it in my campaign, too, because of all the years I've been knowing it. And finally, it's been released, but the people still don't know it because they don't know the Constitution. They don't know what that meant. Well, we're going to move on then. Let's look at some of the other things that people don't know. I'm sure everyone has heard of Uncle Tom. Oh, he was supposed to be some black guy that always clinging to everything the white man said and slavery. You know, Uncle Tom, you know, if you do something and look like you're helping white people, they'll call you Uncle Tom. Well, let's watch this video clip and see what a big lie that was. Tom was actually a hero for the black people. Roll that clip.
Josiah Henson, a.k.a. Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was born June 15, 1789 in Charles County, Maryland. He was separated from his parents when he was a kid after his father got disciplined for standing up to a slave owner. His father received 100 lashes and got his right ear cut off. One day, at the age of 9, Josiah was caught reading a grammar book by a slave master, Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley beat him so bad, his eyes were swollen and he became unconscious. As he grew older, he became the overseer of the plantation. Josiah was able to work and stack up some money so he can purchase his freedom. But Mr. Riley cheated him out of his money. So after that, he escaped to Canada. And that's where he gave his story. In 1852, author Harriet Beecher Stowe released a powerful fictional book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Fictional, but it was also based on Josiah's life. This book was so powerful that if you were caught reading it, selling it, or buying it, you would be arrested. Not only could you be arrested, but you could also be sentenced to death. Inside of the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, you will learn about two characters. One, Uncle Tom, and the other, Sambo. Uncle Tom was a good dude. He never snitched. He never beat anybody. And he was the guy, if your sack was empty or your sack was low, he would take cotton out of his sack and put it into yours, just so you wouldn't get beat. Because he was so looked up to, he was so loved, and he was the man holding everything down, they had to put another slave in charge of him, and that slave was Sambo. Sambo's orders was to beat Uncle Tom every night, all the way up until his death. Uncle Tom was beat to death in the fictional book for not giving up the whereabouts of two women slaves that escaped. So let's change that narrative on Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was a good dude. Sambo is what we should be calling people, not Uncle Tom. You should be proud to be called an Uncle Tom. That name came from the white slave owners who viewed him as a traitor. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe.
So now you see what I'm talking about. I've told you people over and over again to start reading about these things. Anything that they say repeatedly, always read up on it, because they could be lying. You know what I'm saying? They could be just lying. So you see, they've been lying about Uncle Tom all this time. Now, I read Uncle Tom's Cabin a long time ago, but I was a kid, so I'm not really sure about what Harriet Beecher Stowe was trying to do, but I do remember the way it was portrayed. And maybe she's right, maybe she's wrong, but he still was a hero. So anytime somebody call you Uncle Tom, say, hey, brother, thank you, man, because Tom was bad. You know, he was bad. He went up in there and he saved a whole lot of black people. See, anything good that we do, they twist it into something else and make it something bad. And then you got some stupid black people out there helping do that. So now let's go on to another thing that they're twisting. All this BLM stuff and the Antifa stuff. And, you know, and basically, like I told you guys, most of it is done through voodoo. The voodoo that was done to the black community by these same people, Senator Philip Hart, Emmanuel Seller, Tip O'Neill, President Johnson. They got with all the drug lords when they wanted to take over America and get our jobs away from us. You know, they couldn't do it in Congress, so they just drugged everybody. It's as simple as that. It wasn't no rocket science. They just sent drugs into every black community, especially up north, because we were known as the dark industrial states. We were the ones that started industry. And blacks were working 2 and 3, however many jobs you wanted. And Johnson just didn't want to have it. And then President Kennedy, he put the blacks into the training schools so he could see more technology coming from the black community because he knew it was there. Oh, Johnson wasn't going to have that. Oh, no. And then Christine Timmon, I went up in there and helped the engineering team to put the Enrico Fermi 2 nuclear power plant up. That's a perpetual motion 2-tower nuclear power plant. It hasn't changed motion in 40-some years. Nope, still doing the same thing. And you know Johnson didn't need all that. All these smart black people, even the cartoons were depicting black people running up into businesses and kicking the door in with briefcases. I mean, blacks were doing great. And then the next thing you know, Johnson talking about some war on poverty. You know, and he started closing down some of the training programs. Then the next thing you knew, he started giving ADC welfare to the women. And you've heard me say this before. They had to kick the men out. So they adopted the welfare as their lifestyle and as their husband. They married President Johnson's welfare system. And with that system, they didn't have to do anything. Just used up all day. And they even sacrificed their children to the dope lords. Well, yeah, they taught the kids how to sell drugs, 8 years old, too. Because they had to have that money together when the dealer got back there. So now let's look at something else. There's some black women out here in our time who trying to overcome the voodoo of back then. There are a couple of religious women, and so let's listen to what they're saying. So why don't you roll the religious women? Thank you.
I would be in the same position you're in, so I'm not even mad at you, baby. I'm feeling like fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden in. Watch what happens. You want to see black men get killed substantially? Like you've never seen before, put Joe Biden in and watch what happens. These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people. These are the same people who fought to keep slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. Blacks free, the Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually assisted in finding. But all of that history has been torn away. People say, oh, there was this big switch. There was never a big switch. The Union won because we had grown in the industrial era. So we were able to get trains and get supplies back to our soldiers while the Confederate was still riding horses. They were not able to get the supplies back fast enough, right? So what happened was once slavery was abolished in the South, the people in the South could no longer make their money from slaves. They had to move to the North to work in the industry to produce. And so the people in the North that already had established themselves in the industry moved to the South. And so that's where it was a transfer of people coming from the South to the North and people coming from the North to the South. There was never a big switch. So the same Democrats who hated black people from the beginning are the same ones who hate us now. And they use our cause. How did Black Lives Matter turn into something about LGBTQ? When blacks really don't support that. We're conservative. We're really not about that. Not only that, we don't support abortion. We're about working. This is the black culture. We ain't ever been about that. Not only that, we're not about feminism. No, we're not. Black women marry their husbands and respect their husbands. That's what we on. We're not on this, oh, I do what I want. We don't do that. That's not our community, and you would understand. I know you understand what I'm saying. Come on. We don't do that. But yet these people are hijacking our movement, and the Democratic Party, they're trying to hijack our stuff. No. You want the benefit of Christ, but you don't want Christ. You gotta accept Christ and all of his benefits, not just his benefits without him. There's no Allah, there's no Muhammad, there's no Buddha, there's Jesus. He's the one who died, he's the one who has keys to heaven. If you want to get into heaven, and if you want to walk and live on earth as it is in heaven, you have to accept Jesus Christ. He is the only way. Other than that, you will be chasing your tail. You will be chasing your tail.
I just got one question. I heard you say Jesus is the one and only way, right? Or at least the solution.
He's the solution, and he's the only way to
so
the
when
Father.
is the answer? How long y'all been waiting on Jesus?
Plead with you, my guys. Only Jesus, my people. Only Jesus. Black Lives Matter sounds cute, but not Black Lives Matter can't save you. Only Jesus.
Black Lives Matter can't save you. Black Lives Matter didn't go on the cross for you. Black Lives Matter didn't die for you. Black Lives Matter can't grant you into the kingdom of God. Black Lives Matter can't do it, but Jesus can do it. Jesus can put you back in your rightful position.
This is about the people who have died.
As a king.
This is about the people who have died.
You are a king. You are a king.
And we know Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No one can get to the Father except through him. Truth. Sorry.
No.
Period. That's all we're saying. If you say you believe on Jesus, you're going to have to comply with what he says.
So are you here for Jesus or
I'm here for Jesus. Jesus is what I'm here for. Jesus is for Jesus.
Wait, one more time. May I ask you?
I'm here for Jesus.
Look, one more time. May I ask you, are you here for Jesus, which you can pray for every day, or are you here for the people who have died under the police?
Jesus!
You're here for the
Then
people.
you're here for the wrong reason.
No, we're not.
That's on
No,
you.
we're not.
You are here for the wrong reason.
Jesus is the Lord.
Go to your church.
Jesus is who I'm here for. Let's not get it twisted. Jesus.
Wow. You see what I mean, people? Thank God. But sometimes I get scared because I wasn't brought up in any mess like this. We have some family problems, but not this sort of thing. You know, where everybody bad. Everybody doing awful stuff. Everybody using the kids, you know. But it's not all lost. I know you see a lot of rioting and other stuff going on, and you're talking about Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. But it didn't matter back in my day. Black lives wasn't worth a quarter. You just got sold to the drug lord the same way the tribal chiefs used to sell you to the Arabs and the other slave traders, or helped them to capture. Life didn't mean nothing. All of a sudden, talking about some Black Lives Matter. So what happened here, they have become so, and I wouldn't say popular, infamous. Everybody's trying to weigh in on their situation, Black Lives Matter. I haven't officially weighed in. You know, the minute a government official called me, or one of these news programs, then it would be official. So what I say now is just what I say, even though I can back it up. So let's roll a clip now where I forgot Shapiro. He's a very popular announcer. He gets into it with Black Lives Matter and made them look terrible. Let's roll that clip.
I'm offended by the language of uprising applied to people who are breaking into other black people's stores and looting them. This is a lack of values. And people who are destroying private property, destroying cop cars, in an uprising against what exactly? Against the black police chief, against a mostly minority police force, against the black mayor, against the black president, against the black attorney general, against against a city council that is 9 of 15 are black and all 15 are elected Democrats. What is the uprising against? What is it seeking to achieve? I still don't see what exactly the riots are seeking to achieve. Bottom line is, this is all, it all could be boiled down to just act like a mensch. Act like a human being. Honestly, it's not useful to riot, it's not useful to break things, it's not useful to throw rocks at people. And the idea that we're supposed to sort of correlate your level of outrage.
I'm going to stick to the 30 seconds on
the
this
last
one.
sentence. The last sentence. Yeah. The idea that we're supposed to correlate your level of outrage with a certain level of justification. In other words, the more outraged you are and the more angry you are, the more justified you must be, is absolute nonsense.
How can you argue that racism is not a driving factor in income inequality?
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't, you know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high. Explain, if it has nothing to do with culture, explain to me why the single motherhood rate in the black community jumped from 20% to 70% in the same course of time that the civil rights movement has made such tremendous strides. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? And if it is, please explain to me how that happened.
Anybody can jump in. It's an open mic there.
But there has to be racism. You can't say there's no racism.
Without evidence?
No. I'm just saying that I don't know which animal. Maybe we're talking about dogs or something. I'm talking about human beings, and I'm like, human beings are most likely going to have racial prejudices. I'm just so sorry. I'm just so sorry. I don't know. I don't come from. I come from planet Earth.
Charles, I want to ask you a question. So your default is that when there is no evidence, racism is the deciding factor. That is your default.
No, I was not saying that. I'm just saying that you're going to have sexists, you're going to have racists, you're going to have all this stuff. I'm just saying that.
I agree it exists, but the problem that I'm seeing, and this is the problem with the general conversation, is that there's no solution in simply saying there's racism out there. How does that solve anything? I mean, when you talk about there's institutional racism, what does that mean? Show me a law that is racist in intent, and we will agree. Show me a police officer who commits a racist act like we saw in South Carolina, right, where a police officer shot a black man running away and it was obviously unjustified, and I will agree. But the idea that you can craft a narrative based on no racism because it just must be somewhere out there in the ether, that doesn't solve problems for anybody and creates more problems for people because now they grow up in a milieu and an environment where they are told that every obstacle they face is from some shadowy, nameless, faceless group who is out to get them simply because of the color of their skin. They'll never succeed in that environment. On the Black Lives Matter idea, I want to find the people. I want to find the people alongside you who think Black lives don't matter. I'm still looking for those people. Really, I mean, like the implication is, of course, that for a bunch of people out there, for some reason, they're fine with black people getting shot in the street for no reason. Hands up, don't shoot was based on a lie. That's problematic. The idea that there is a huge number of black young men who are being shot for no reason by police officers is not statistically true. It's just not statistically true. The fact is that according to statistical studies at John Jay College, if you're a white man in a similar confrontation with police, you have a better chance of being shot by police than if you are a young black man. More white men are shot by the police every year in the country than young black men are shot by police in the country. The idea that there is a spate, and there's an easy proof. We know all of their names. We know all of their names. When there are 30 million black men in America. Okay, when we know President Obama said that we have a spate, it's a slow rolling crisis. Once every couple of weeks we have a case that's under dispute. So let's take his statistic. Okay, so let's say it's 26. One is too many, and we all agree. But is it really a slow rolling crisis with a broad trend across the nation when there are 30 million black people in the entire country and 26 people are shot under disputed circumstances and probably at least half of those, the cop is at least justified? In Michael Brown, he was justified. Okay, and so basing it on falsities, you can't base a narrative on lies.
Wow, wasn't that embarrassing? That was just all not embarrassing. You know, they need to get their act together. They're going to have to stop and realize what really happened. You can't fix a lie with another lie. They're lying when they say all this stuff about what the white people did. Because I was there, I ain't see no white people. And that's where it gets confusing to me. I live right in the middle of Detroit. So you know I saw it all. I saw the mafia, the black drug mafias running all the interracial stuff. They ran all that out of town. All you blacks who want to be all that interracial mess, you need to go on with them if you got the money. If you ain't got the money, you better chill. Because the next thing you know, somebody be kicking in your door, or it'd be a drive-by, or flash fire through your window. I ain't seen no white people doing that for 20-some years. And now all of a sudden, they're talking about what the white people did. I'm thinking about what the black women did when they broke up the family, listening to President Johnson, throwing the doggone men out the house, instead of just saying, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to make it the way I am. I've been making it like this, and I'd rather not. I'd rather keep my family together. They threw the family, the husband, the children in a garbage can. And I had to watch that. Now you telling me the white people did something. What did they do? Oh, you must be talking about President Johnson, President Carter, Tip O'Neill, Emanuel Seller, and Philip Hart of Michigan. They were the ones who started this drive to get the immigrants here to lower their wages and to get Ford, GM, and Chrysler out of Michigan. I never will forget them days. And they just darn it couldn't do it until President Johnson did the welfare drug. People were so drunk, and people like me, you know, the activists, we was all up on the street begging people and begging the women, don't get into that, and it's going to ruin the children. Oh, shoot, they said, oh, y'all crazy. It took me 25 years, and then a lot of the ones who was helping to try to stop it, they fell in with it, especially the pastors. There were a lot of pastors that fell in with it, but not me. I just roll with the punch. Every now and then I run up in there and see what they're doing. And finally, after 25 years, President Clinton was the one who did it. Oh yeah, he wanted welfare drug reform. He didn't say black people, he said the inner city to be retrained. And the Democrats wasn't studying him. They kept doing everything but that. So he kept talking about it, and about we need a new way in Congress. And the next thing you know, the people sent the Republicans in. They had a 73-point lead. And that was how I was able to do it. Yep, because Debbie Stabenow, Diane Byram, Lynn Martinez, and Gretchen Whitmer, now the governor of Michigan, they fought me tooth and nail. When I went into their offices at the state capitol, talking this old stupid stuff about training black women and training the inner city and saving the kids, and shoot, they called the guard. The sergeant, I look up, a sergeant at arms be standing next to me. And I asked him, what do you want? He said, well, they want you to leave. So I couldn't do anything. And then came Dick Chrysler. And he listened to every word I said. And Engler and Bill Schuette and John Kay, all them big shot congressmen. I could call my own meetings. I called my own congressional meetings. Get that did. And that's how you got welfare reform and drug reform and work first. It took me 25 years though to do that. So it's confusing to me now to hear them talk about what the white people did. I'm still trying to figure out what they did. So, you know, it's a whole lot of things going on. That's why I tell you guys to always be mindful of everything that goes on. So now let's have a little humor here from T.C. Williams. He said he's sick and tired of people talking about we slave. He said he's not a slave and you ain't either. Slavery hasn't been in existence almost 200 years. You still talking about you're a slave. So let's roll the clip on T.C. Williams.
What's up, Facebook? So, I hear a lot of black people on Facebook talking about they want to move to Africa. Well, move y'all ass to Africa. I ain't going with you. Fuck that. I'll buy your passport. Because you know what? People in Africa don't even like blacks in America, so I don't even know why y'all even want to go there. And you ain't even from there. You was born here in the U.S. So, and then a lot of people that want to go back, they use government assistance. Well, I hate to break the news, but in Africa, you ain't getting food stamps. You ain't getting no child support check. Why you think Obama's daddy went back to Africa? Because he didn't have to pay child support. You ain't getting no housing, no Section 8. Shit, you're going to live in a damn hut. And half y'all Negroes are scared of dogs. So I want to know why you want to move to Africa and you're scared of dogs. And then half of y'all need health insurance. Well, I hate to break the news, but in Africa, you ain't getting no damn health insurance because they got flies that'll kill your ass. They not paying for that shit. I guarantee you that. So let me know how Farrakhan treat y'all ass. And you know what? Don't worry about police brutality, whatever you call it, because they don't even got police in Africa, okay? You get shot, you just get shot, okay? Your husband knocked you upside the damn head, you just get knocked upside the head. And half y'all like to sue motherfuckers for every damn thing. So you get in a car wreck, guess what? They ain't got lawyers. They ain't even got no damn constitution. Ain't no such thing as rights in Africa. You ain't got no rights. So take your asses on back to Africa all you want to. Let me know how Farrakhan treats you. I'm gonna stay here with my white folks, okay? I got white friends. So, and a lot of people want to call me whitewashed. Well, let me tell you something here. I ain't whitewashed. Just because I don't blame the white man for everything, okay? Just because you got 9 kids, that ain't the white man's fault. He didn't push Tyrone inside you. He didn't. When your mama told you to get your ass up and go to school, and you skipped school and dropped out, and you ain't got no college degree, and you working at McDonald's, that ain't the white man's fault. You had the damn opportunity. So I'm still trying to figure out why we blaming the white man, why y'all blaming the white man for every damn thing that's going on in your life. Hell, somebody gonna blame the white man because his car broke down. You bought that raggedy motherfucker. You didn't get an oil change on that damn car. The white man did not set that shit up. So I'm still trying to figure out why we blaming the white man for every damn thing. Okay? Then on top of this, I want to know why, if you was born in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, the 60s, why are you mad about slavery? It is 2016 going on 17. I'm trying to figure out what y'all mad for. Y'all wasn't no damn slaves. I'm trying to figure some things out. Because, because my thing is, listen here. The whites bought the slaves fair and square, okay? It's called the slave trade. They went over there, traded y'all asses for some damn goods, okay? They gave the Africans blankets. The Africans gave the whites niggas, okay? I'm sorry, okay? The Europeans, pigs come from Europe. So, they took the pigs over to Africa, traded the goddamn hog for you. Since y'all think y'all slaves, it was a fair and square deal. They paid cash for y'all niggas. So I don't know why you're mad. Because when none of you know damn slaves, I know that. You don't even know your damn ancestors. Then you want to holler all this Black Lives Matter bullshit. And you know what? I know a lot of people that say Black Lives Matter. I know a lot of black people that leave their grannies and their mamas in a nursing home to die. But you want to scream Black Lives Matter. You don't even care about your damn mama's life. So, when y'all move back to Africa, let me know how Farrakhan treats y'all. Because I know one thing, people in Africa is moving here to the U.S. So I'm confused. I don't know why. People in China moving here. People in Mexico moving here. If America that goddamn bad, why the fuck everybody moving here? I'm still trying to figure some shit out. So, let me know how that go. How Farrakhan them treat y'all. And, you ain't gonna find no good chicken like this over there neither. You ain't gonna find a whole lot of shit over there. And you can't go to the dentist neither. Ain't none of that shit over there. Y'all always wanna holler about rights. You ain't getting no rights over there. But stop blaming the white man. Okay, I got white friends. Shit. I don't drink with the motherfuckers because they get you fucked up. Like Cat Williams say. But I got white friends. They help me out. I help them out. Shit. Hell, my sister even got white friends. And shit, they all got each other's back. Okay? But I know damn well I can't count on one hand how many Negroes got my back. But let me tell you, I can count on your hand, my hand, on how many white folks done help me out. So, I'm just trying to figure out why y'all mad. So, let me know. Oh my God. Let me know. You know when chicken so goddamn good, you can't even talk. So, let me know how Farrakhan treat y'all, okay? I'll be here when y'all want to come back. Hit me up. Send your comments and shit. Share this shit. Talk your shit. But ain't none of y'all no damn slaves. Don't blame the white man, okay? The shit going on in your life, okay? Did anybody tell you smoke them damn drugs and go to jail? The white man did not put your head down on the table and make you start that crack. You did that your damn self. Don't blame the white man. Cause your damn baby daddy went to jail for shooting up Taquan. Don't blame the damn white man. Blame the damn self. Pissing me off.
Wow. Don't you just love TC? Now, there's another one I was going to run, but you know YouTube, oh, God, they be cutting off. When they say that we can share, but something you share, like remember we didn't get a chance to see that woman from Baltimore who was disciplining her child. Oh, they took it all the time. It's violence. Oh, sickening. So, you know, TC used a few out-of-order cuss words, so on the one I was going to show you, but this one said the same thing, only I didn't run the real big risk of having YouTube, you know, say something. So I enjoy listening to TC. He's giving me a whole new perspective on this whole thing, you know, because everybody else, they be coming at it, you know, in a militant way. And he's just telling you how stupid, you know. So I enjoy listening to him. When I see his little memes, I always click him on and listen to him. So, you know, it's like he's saying we're not slaves. There's some other things you're going to learn about slavery too, but I'm not ready to tell you because I don't think you're ready to hear it. No, see, I'm the gangster of the Constitution. There's other stuff in there. You're not ready for it. I'm just telling you now, so I'm not going to tell you. So, now, we've changed so much since slavery. Look at who's raising all the hell now. The white people, the white Democrats, and liberals. I'm so ashamed. I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be ashamed of white people because I always worked with them and they helped build the country and they just not shameful people. Of course, there was stuff, you know, like the Klan and all that, but you're going to always have some idiots. Like right now, we got another Klan. We got BLM. That's just a black Klan. And it's as big of idiots as the white one. Just as big. And so, you know, what Mr. TC be saying, you know, y'all better start paying some attention to what people be saying and start reading about it. I told you over and over again, the white people didn't start slavery. This is something that the liberals, and in this world, the Democrats, they need to keep you thinking that so they can use the white man as the whipping boy. In the meantime, they still sneaking their immigrants in here. Yep, last week, I was reading Senator Lee. I had to call him. He told me something, bringing some Indians. I said, did y'all hear what I told you? The Supreme Court just ruled you can't do that. What? And I had to do the same thing with Trump. Tell him, well, later on, I'm going to try to find a way to for path to citizenship for DACA. He can't do that. The Supreme Court just ruled the feds don't have anything to do with it. He did admit that he confused. You know, so I have to try to stay on top of that. I just sent him one letter, and I don't think he's received it yet. But it explains the whole thing. And so we're going to have to learn how to start looking and see what really, really happened. Even Juneteenth. I heard the so-called mayor of East Point saying something about it had to do with the emancipation of slavery, and it was what started slaves being free. Now that's stupid. Now y'all know that's the Emancipation Proclamation. What Juneteenth was, that was Lincoln's way of making sure that everyone all over the country knew that slavery is over. And on Juneteenth, that was the day that they threatened to bring in the army against Houston if they didn't free the slaves right then and there and start paying them. And that's exactly what they did. So that's Juneteenth. Well, it's another one even worse than that. I'm not going to tell you because you're not ready for it. You won't read, so I'm not going to tell you. So if it happened to you, then I'll tell you. But for right now, I ain't telling you. So let's see this final video clip. This is the little black man. He's out there fighting a bunch of white people because they want to burn the flag down. Well, it's their flag, but he walked up to him and he took the flag. And he fought them tooth and nail. He told them it was wrong. And if they don't like it over here, then they need to go on back where they came. Now you got the black people telling the white people to get the heck out of here. Wow. All of these things are happening because Americans are being manipulated by the Democrats. And I heard the real leader of the Democrats is George Soros. Now, I don't know George Soros, don't know nothing about him. But I got the remedy for all of that. Everything to stop them cold, like kryptonite, is in the Constitution. You think George Soros want to see some Christine Timmon? You think he going to put me out there telling the truth? Heck no. Then he couldn't do all this dirty stuff that he's been doing for years. The Democrats couldn't have all these people out here clowning and going on, missing everything. In the meantime, they're still stealing from those people. So let's roll this clip.
It's already 6,
I'm not going to let him come here and burn this flag. Too many people have died protecting this flag.
They died to burn it. They died for the right of this man to burn the flag. Soldiers died for that right. Americans died for the right of free expression.
I understand the right of free expression, but listen, do you guys understand in a communist system there is no freedom of expression?
But
this isn't the Constitution is the only reason why you have this right to burn this flag.
Can you look at this
I support Donald Trump because he's not for economic slavery.
Listen to him.
It's a thing. I fought for this. It's just, it belongs to him.
This flag represents an idea. An idea of freedom.
Yes.
And if you don't like that idea, you have to leave this country. I'm sorry. But that's how it is.
I love America. That's why I'm doing it.
I'm not letting go of this flag. If you want this flag, you have to pry it from my dead hands.
Are you admitting to a crime?
No one's gonna die.
How many people died on the
We're just gonna go to Walmart and get another flag, man. It's cool.
Well, they're no more communist than you are a fascist. Do you understand?
Nobody's getting hurt here.
If fascism is loving America and respecting this flag, and that's what I am.
It isn't.
Nobody's getting hurt here, brother. We love you, brother.
I don't want to argue with you. Just please let go of this flag, and I will leave you alone. $20 is my highest price, and you let go of this flag right now. And if I ever see
the flag itself is $40.
Hey,
it's a $40 flag.
Hey, it's damaged, so it's not worth it. I'm for full communism.
All right, he didn't fight for this piece of cloth.
He did not fight for
He fought for what's in your heart.
He died and was buried. My uncle's died. Hey man, I cannot let go of this flag.
Everybody respects you.
We understand. We understand.
I served in Iraq, man. We went there to protect our freedoms and the Constitution, right? And everything in it. Yes, I agree. But everything in that Constitution we were protecting, including the First Amendment.
And it's what this flag stands for. That's why I can't let him have this flag.
No.
Okay, no, that's okay. Sorry. Larry, we love you, brother. We love you. Brother.
This is not about me. This is about the flag.
We understand.
It belongs to him.
It doesn't matter.
It's his. It's his.
They're respecting their First Amendment rights.
Hey, I'm going to be everywhere you commies are giving your help. Remember that.
Supporting fascism.
We love you, brother. We love you.
Yeah. He was not playing. He mean you ain't gonna burn no flag around here. And they try to tell him, well, it's their flag. I don't care whose flag it is. Y'all ain't burn up no flag. Y'all don't like it here. Why don't y'all go back where you came? I loved it. And there's a whole lot more coming up. I got some clips on what happened in D.C. and in New York. A lot of black people out there painting over Black Lives Matter. And there's talk about there may be some personal lawsuits by white people and black people because the city can't use taxes to fund anything racist. No, they can't. Problem with that is the attorneys don't know it because the American Bar Association, the commie group that runs the law here, they didn't teach them the Constitution. They're not even allowed to have it in the state bar. So most of the attorneys don't know. But somebody gonna catch on sooner or later. So like I tell the people, you don't really need an attorney to do that. You can do it yourself. Just download the form JS-44, fill it out with your name. When you get to line 6, it asks what constitutional clause were violated. You can say Amendment 1, 14, and 9. Those are 3 you definitely can use. And wait for your check. Because the cities cannot use tax dollars to fund anything racist. So wow, people, I really did enjoy that man telling the white people to leave America. You know, and like I told you, I've been doing this all these years, and I finally got the Supreme Court to, I don't think they were trying to back me up. I think they just darn made a mistake. But I wrote Justice Roberts and, what's his name, Mr. Trump, that a mistake has been made here. Not a mistake, y'all accidentally told the truth. Now you cut off all federal entitlements, you know, to foreigners. So now that's what I've been trying to tell you people all these years. While you're running around here, blacks and whites fighting each other, the Democrats be in there laughing. George Soros and them, because they still using Congress to bring the immigrants here to do the work that we do way cheaper. And that was supposed to have been stopped the very minute that that Supreme Court decision went out there. And I've been calling them. Half of them, they know about, you know, the sanctuary, but they don't know that it's a catch-22 and actually delete it. You know how you be typing, oh my God, you deleted the whole damn thing. And you can't punch the button, and you know how you punch it and go back, you can't do it. No, because I've been waiting to do this for many, many years. And I'm just glad I made it through all this, because sometimes I'd be so mad. So we're going to see what's happening now. If I win my seat now in the House of Michigan, I'm going to do the same thing Becerra did in California. I'm going to call for states' rights again. I'm throwing the federal government out of constitutional laws for this state. The immigrants going to have to pay taxes. Everybody going to have to re-register. And if they don't let me do it, if the state or anybody try to stop me, I'm going to call for Amendment 14, Section 4, that said they are in rebellion to the Constitution. And there can be a bounty. That's Amendment 14, Section 4. It says it clearly. Any rebellion and insurrection against the Constitution calls for a bounty on your head. So that's it for this week. And I'm glad you came and congratulate me. You see my phone number. Congratulate me for the Supreme Court, you know, actually doing something, you know, that you can prove that they actually could do. Just turn on Christine Timmon. Do Gangster, the Constitution, anything with Christine Timmon, and you will hear me saying that. And they should have done it a long time ago. They've been helping them to steal billions and trillions of your money. So we're gonna see how much longer that's gonna last. So see ya.